Okay, in the previous video we looked at points of concurrency called the incenter and the circumcenter. Today we're going to find two more points of concurrency. Um, First is the centroid. The centroid is basically the medians of the triangles. So the median goes from the vertice to the midpoint of the opposite segment. So as you see, the line from angle B goes to F, which separates it into two congruent segments. If you were to try to do a triangle with a compass, you would just need to set your compass distance a little longer than half the distance of the triangle, and then make an arc from the two vertices on the line, and then connect the line that goes through those arcs. So one thing here that we're going to find is that the centroid divides each of the meridians into two parts. One will be 2 times longer than the other, so one will be 2/3 and one will be 1/3. So what they're showing you here, that the length of SQ is 8. So that means that the length of SW is 12 and that QW is going to be 4. So you can find the centroid by using the midpoint formula and then drawing the line, and then you need to find the point of concurrency. So you would have to do 2 lines on a triangle, or 2 points, 2 meridians. So first off, there are 3 paths along through a triangular park. Each path goes from midpoint of one edge to the opposite corner. The paths meet at point P. We want to find PS so PS is going to be the short part, and PC, so PC is going to be 2/3 of 1400 and 700 for PS. Change colors here real quick. And we do the same thing with 1,000 feet. 2/3 of 1,000 is going to be 2. So we're going to keep going. We're going to go 1,000 times 2/3, which is going to be 666 and 2/3, and then the short side will be 333 and 1/3. 800 times 2/3 is going to equal 633 and 1/3, and the short side is going to be equal to 266 and 2/3. So we're just multiplying by 2/3 to find the longer segment and 1/3 to find the shorter. So one thing you can do is when you try to find the centroid algebraically, so if we're looking at the blue triangle, which is the one on the is number 4, we're going to take the x values, 2 plus 4 plus 6, and divide those by 3. And we're going to do the same with the y values, 5 plus 9, 5 doesn't look real good, plus 1, and divide that by 3. We're going to get 12 divided by 3, our x value is going to be 4. If we're going to get 16/3, so the centroid would be located at the point 4 and 16/3, which is about 5 1/3 on the y value. Doing the same thing for the red triangle, we have 2, 4, and 6. Yep, looked the wrong way. We have -3 plus 1 plus -1, -4, -3, divide by 3, we're going to get -1. And for our x value, and then we're going to have 3 plus 5 plus -2, which is going to be 6, and divided by 2, so our centroid would be at -1 and 2 for that triangle. The next thing we're going to work with is called an altitude. An altitude goes from a vertice and is perpendicular to its opposite side. So, and the point of concurrency for altitudes is called the orthocenter. So take a look here. So if a triangle is acute, meaning that it has no right angle and all the angles are less than 90, the orthocenter will be inside of the triangle. If the triangle is a right triangle, that orthocenter is going to be where the right angle is. And if we're obtuse, that orthocenter is going to be outside of the triangle. So we'll take a look here. Just showing you how they did this. Again, you only need to find 2 altitudes, because once where they meet, the other altitude will meet there as well. So what they're showing you is that they found the slope. First off, the bottom line is horizontal, so the line that's going to intercept it coming from y and be perpendicular is going to be x equals -2, and then finding the slope of the blue line yz, they do here, it's -1, meaning the slope of the point that goes through x is going to have a slope of 1, and they graph it x plus 4, and they find the orthocenter is at -2 and 2. Okay, so first off, the triangle on the left we can see is going to have the orthocenter is going to be outside of the triangle. So we know that. I would need to, in order to do that, I know that the point here that's going to go through is going to be y equals -3, because that will be perpendicular to x equals 0. Then I would need to find the slopes of this line here, which it right now is -x. So the actual line would be y equals x minus 2 that would go from here across, and we'll come back here, and it actually intercepts at -1 and -3. So the orthocenter is at -1 and -3. Looking at the right triangle, we know that the orthocenter is going to be here at this point, which is -3 and 4. That will be the orthocenter for that line. So all of the things that we've looked at perpendicular bisectors. Those are going through the segment bisectors, angle bisectors, medians, and altitudes. The point of concurrency for perpendicular bisectors is called the circumcenter. The point of concurrency for angle bisectors is the incenter, so it would inscribe a circle inside the triangle. The point of concurrency for medians is the centroid, and the point of concurrency for altitudes is the orthocenter.